Yes, boss, you can continue. Boss.
Okay. So that ticket that we talked about, right? That single queue of all the tickets getting landed will be like this. You already know, right? So ticket number, ticket subject, who raised the ticket, the timestamp of ticket creation, the status of the ticket, so on and so forth. The other attributes we can see under our login what we wanted to see, right? That's a key thing to start from a service management point of view, or that is the first thing to start from an ITIL point of view, as I said. Now, that one single ticket which is coming, right? From an ITIL point of view, that one single ticket can be further segregated into two types, right? It is not divided, it is segregated into two types, meaning it can be that or it can be this. It can be an incident, it can be an SR, service request, right? So what exactly this incident is or what exactly this service request is, we have to understand. Now, I'll give an example. I am not able to access internet. Please help me. Right? My laptop is keep throwing BSOD. Please help me on priority. I need access to www.linkedin.com on my laptop. Right? I need access to SAP to cater my project requirements. Right? These are some examples which I gave. Now, in these examples, there are few things which can be taken as an incident, and there are few things which can be taken as a service request. Now, what is that is what we need to understand. Unable to access internet, I need to have access to my system is throwing BSOD, right? These two can be taken as incidents. Why? Because these are some issues which user is facing on his resources, which need to be addressed and troubleshooted by the technician. Internet is not working. What you normally do, you check your Wi-Fi connectivity, you check your browser connectivity, you check your proxy connectivity, ensure that you are connected to the current Wi-Fi and all, and the things will be getting addressed. Even after doing that, if thing is not getting addressed, then the process of taking it to another further level of troubleshooting will be different. But normally, that internet access issue or that BSOD issues is what you'll be able to troubleshoot and fix it and give an acknowledgement to the user so that those troubleshooting tickets are termed as incidents, and the process of incident is called as incident management. Okay, what is the process? Nothing but user is raising a request. It is getting assigned to an engineer. Engineer is doing an initial acknowledgement. Engineer is working on the ticket. During the due course of working on the ticket, there will be some to and fro conversations happening from the user to the technician, technician to the user, based on the SLA that is getting applied. At the end, ticket will be closed by the engineer. Sorry, not closed. Ticket will be resolved by the engineer. If end user feels that the final resolution given to the ticket is satisfactorily, end user can close the ticket, or system will close the ticket automatically on the backend, or I as a super user, when I do a review of the tickets, if I feel or think that everything is good, user has acknowledged, user hasn't acknowledged, I will have the authority to close the ticket. But you as an engineer agent, you are not supposed to close any ticket as per ITIL practice. You are only supposed to resolve a ticket. So that process, what we discussed now, is called as incident management, right? That is scenario one. On the other side, we have scenario two. I need access to my SAP for my project. I need access to www.linkedin.com. These were two examples which I gave. Now, when I need access to SAP and the ticket will be assigned to Kamal, for example, will Kamal be able to do the fulfillment directly? No, because ERP is an enterprise application and its login is licensed. Kamal will not have a control of that. Definitely not. Right? So what to be done? So in that case, what we normally do is, as soon as a ticket like ERP is coming in, we'll send out a confirmation to my reporting manager when I'm taking a ticket, when I'm raising a ticket. My reporting manager is Shakti. Shakti will look into the ticket. He will authorize the ticket to be taken forward or not. Upon his authorization only, the second level of confirmation will go to the ERP administrator so that he will verify everything. The requirement coming from the user Lakshman, is it valid or not? To that validity, do we have sufficient license or not? Bolke, he will do a validation on there. Upon his successful validation only, ticket will be assigned to Kamal. Kamal will then be able to create a profile for me on the ERP and do the fulfillment and resolve the ticket. That's a process. Because in this example of ERP, my reporting manager has to approve first. Then the respective enterprise application administrator has to approve next because license is coming into picture. We cannot play with the licenses. That is one example, right? Another example was I'm not able to access, I need access to some website. So that some website, Kamal cannot do it on the go. It's a firewall level call. He cannot do any modification of the policies on his own. He need to verify that. He need to get a confirmation. He need to get it approved. The process will be there. Same process. Ticket is raised by Lakshman. Confirmation mail is gone to the reporting manager Shakti. He will verify it. He will approve it. Only then Kamal will come into the picture, do edit the policy on the firewall, apply it on my name or on my IP address. Then the fulfillment is done and ticket is resolved, right? So this process of ticket creation done by the user, approval done by the respective hierarchy, single level approval or multi-level approval, technician coming into the picture, acknowledging the ticket, working on the ticket as per the SLA, resolving the ticket as per the SLA, and changing the status to resolution. Same thing again. Once the resolution is done, if I feel that the resolution is good, okay, I close the ticket. If not, system will close the ticket after some time, or the super user will come into the picture, do a review. If the review is successful, they might close the ticket if required. And that process is called as service catalog management. Service catalog management. Incident management, service catalog management. Both are nothing but tickets only. Just a difference of workflow. And that workflow difference is approval flow. Incident management, no approvals. Service catalog management, approvals will be there by default from the workflow itself. Right? Any questions here?
Sir, for incidents, there will be no workflow, sir.
Sorry?
For incident, there will be no workflow for approvals.
Approval is not there in incidents.
Okay, only for service we will have it.
Yes. Right. That is the basic nomenclature what we have on these two modules called incident and service catalog. Now, before we go next, right? How these tickets are getting logged on the console, with what basis and all, is also we need to understand. Taking an example of this demo console, what we have from Manage Engine Service Desk Plus, you have this setup wizard on the right hand side top, right? From the setup wizard, we will be able to do the complete configuration of the system that we are wanting to design, develop, and use as per our organization practice on Manage Engine. Similarly, on Fresh Service, we have the setup wizard here on the left-hand side bottom. We can do the complete configuration, designing, automation, and all, and take it forward from there. See, I'm giving you the navigation of both Manage Engine Service Desk and Fresh Service. The difference is the menus are on the top here, the menus are on the left-hand side here, but the concept is same. The navigation is different, but the concept is same. The nomenclature is different, but the knowledge is same. Okay. You see here tickets under Fresh Service. You see here requests under Managing. Inside requests, you see incidents and SRs. Right? Incident and SR. The same thing you will see here as well. Incidents and SR. I said, right? The nomenclature will be different. The concept, knowledge, everything is same. Just the UI navigation will vary. It's up to you how more you understand and take the right option. Understanding the menus which are there by comparing to each one is what will go. Right? Either in this console or the Fresh Service console, or to an extent, any other ITSM tool that you talk about, it is designed, it is built, and there is a base. And that base is nothing but user. Without the user on the console, you cannot design any workflows, you cannot design, configure any templates, you cannot even work on the tickets, right? So the users are base in every ITSM tool that we see in the market. Now, how we need to have those users created on the console is the first thing. You see a menu here called users. You can come here and click on users, and you can go to new user. You can import from a CSV, or there will be a form that will be open. You can open the form, fill the details, and click on submit. Right? It is here. And on the Fresh Service console, if you scroll down, you see an option called contacts. Under contacts, which is termed as user here, you can import from a CSV, or you can open the form and you can fill the details on the form here and click on save. Here, if you see, email address is mandatory, which is gonna act as a unique identifier for every user, because this is a SaaS console. Here, this being on-premise console, you also have a SaaS component for Service Desk Plus. Here also, email address will be the unique identifier with which the user differentiation will be taken and user duplication can be prevented. So email address is unique in every ITSM tool that we see in the market today. Right? User part is done. Now, I gave two options. Option one was from the form. Option two was from a CSV. There is an option three as well. I say, as per my organization, I have my organization user information and the user attribute information available in my Active Directory, right? So in that case, what I can do is I can integrate my service desk system with the Active Directory here in this menu. Once the integration is done and once the synchronization is done, the users will be getting imported from the Active Directory here, right? On the Service Desk Plus console. Similarly, on the Fresh Service console as well, we have the Active Directory which will be coming from a probe, because this is a cloud component. We need to install this probe, and this probe need to be downloaded from here, and this need to be installed somewhere on your network. And this probe, one side will be communicating to the cloud console. On the other side, it will be communicating to your on-premise domain controller. With that communication and with that synchronization of the users on the attributes that you are defining, the synchronization will happen of all the attributes that you say, right? What is the first name? It is going to query given name of Active Directory and map to the first name. What is the last name? As an attribute. What is the title? Title lowercase. Work phone, telephone number. Mail as mail, company as department, reporting manager as manager, so on and so forth. So all these attributes we are mapping here on this cloud console. So once the mapping is done and successfully in place, with respect to attribute information that is available on the Active Directory will be mapped to the respective nomenclature on the console and saved. Right? I say these 10 to 12 fields what I have is not sufficient for me. I need few more fields. Yes, there will be a requirement like that. You can do that. So what you can do is you have something called as user additional fields at the bottom here. You can add what all the context fields you need. I have phone here, telephone here. There is nothing called desk number or a desk place or floor number here. So I can add some fields like that and map it to the respect to AD information, AD attribute information that is there on the AD. So that in the next synchronization, the fields will be updated and will be seen on the respective user menu. So that way we can make use of this, the user additional fields here on both the consoles to create as many fields as per our choice in the respective format, single line, multi-line, pick list, numeric date format and all, and associate the data and synchronize if it is available on your Active Directory automatically at regular intervals. That is number 3. Number 4, I do not have much information on the Active Directory. Instead, I have my data on my internal HRMS system. There is a possibility. We are hearing some queries like that from the users. So on the Manage Engine tool, we have API calls. From the API calls, either on a push mechanism or a pull mechanism, we can synchronize the data and update it on the console here. The same API calls are also available here on the Press service. Either on a push mechanism or on a pull mechanism, you will be able to synchronize the data and update here under the context menu. API calls, I'm just using the concept called API calls, but for that API calls, there is a lengthy discussion which will take place on the backend based on the use case, based on the attributes that they are looking out, based on the mode of communication that they are looking out. Will they be able to expose that HRMS system openly to the cloud console like this or to an internal console like this, right? So based on the responses that we hear from the customer to those queries, right? We need to come to a point. How do we design that? How do we take that synchronization from a third-party tool called HRMS? Not only HRMS, any other tool that customer says that their user data is available in that tool, and you are wanting to have that information fetched from that tool, then the only answer that you can say is, yes, we can do this with the help of API calls, but we need to have a detailed discussion and take that basis on the feasibility of the use case. Blindly, we cannot say, yes, we can do it, or blindly, we cannot say API calls are there, it will happen automatically. It is not going to happen automatically. Some development, some customization need to be involved there. Only then we can say that we will be able to do it upon feasibility confirmation. Right? Now, users are created, right? The first thing is done. Now, what is the second thing? From these users which are getting created, we need to nominate some of the users as agents, right? I have 20 users in the organization. Out of 20 users, Kamal, myself, and Shakti, we three are the only technicians. So of the entire list, you need to nominate us as agents, right? And these agents, we need to give some roles so that they can start to work and take the things forward from there, right? So what is that role? Role is nothing but their expertise, their designation, their work that you're wanting to give them, or the permission that you're wanting to give them on the console so that they will be able to see that data only, right? So these roles we need to define across modules that you see with some permissions like this. And you see here, the agent or the technician allowed to view all the data, all in associated sites only, all in group and assigned to him only, or all assigned to him only. So basis on these permissions that you give, right? If you keenly observe, there are few permissions that you need to ensure that we will not give to the agents. I'm not giving delete permissions to my agents in my organization. So I'm unchecking it. I will not give closing permission to my agent. So I'm unchecking it. I'm not giving reopening request to my agent. So I uncheck it. Right? I will allow stop timer. Yeah. I'm not allowing the users to stop the timer manually, not to delete the approvals. Right? So these are some things which I'm not giving to the user. So I'm unchecking it as per my view, as per my organization practice, I save it. Then I'll assign this role to a user. So he will become as an agent. So in that format, we can create many such roles based on the expertise that we are looking out. With a few predefined roles that we have in the system like this, we can add other roles. And then you should be able to convert those created, imported, synchronized users as agents. Take an example of this user called SDP user 3. I'll click on that. Change as technician. Once I click on change as technician, the edit view of this user will populate. It is not clicking actually, where I'll be able to give the permission and the roles. This role SD guest, which is showing up here by default. Okay. This SD guest, which is showing by default, is a end user role, which will be coming up by default. So I'll remove that and I'll select the other role which I've created. So I'm going and assigning an agent role. Then I'll click on save. Plus. So now this user SDP3, right, will be showing up as an agent on this user list and also on the agents list. Right? So that way you will be able to change the users, the imported created users as agents from the menu, and they will be showing up on your technicians list or agents list. Right? The same thing you can do here as well. Contacts is users, user fields, and here you have agents. Before that, you need to come to roles, create the roles, and assign that to agents. Email address is one thing which I said. And in this Cloud Console of REST service, you have these two radio buttons. Easy a full-time agent, that is permanent agent, or easy a contractual agent, temporary agent. So basis on the license that you have, you will be able to select the respective radio button. And you give the email address, his first name, last name, and all. And somewhere down, you provide the role. account admin, super admin, SD agent, so on and so forth. So I'll select the role across all groups in the desk, items assigned to him, member observer. So that view all what you see under service desk, the similar view is given here as this checkboxes. You can select whichever is applicable and you can save it. Right? So that way, the user creation, role creation, associating to the agent, creating an agent will be done. So the initial part of user concept is over. Now, the next thing is, who are all are there on the console session here? Kamal, Vetri, Kiran, and Shruti. Okay. We 4 people or we 5 people along with me. Kamal is working on fresh desk and fresh sales, right? Vetri is working on SolarWinds and MDM. Sai is working on ITSM. Okay. Shakti is working on SolarWinds and ITSM. Okay. Lakshman is working on fresh service, ITSM, and fresh desk. This is our expertise. Okay. Now, we 5 people, when we see our expertise separately, our expertise is unique. But when we see our expertise as one, we have some common expertise in nature. Yes, I and Kamal share a common expertise. Vetri and Shakti share a common expertise. Shakti and Sai share a common expertise, right? So this common expertise sharing people can be grouped as one and created as a group. And we 5 people are agents. We do support operations. So those groups are called as support groups on manager. That will be able to create here. What is the name of the group? Who are all the people who are having that similar expertise? Lakshman, Shakti, Sai, and Kamal. So this group called ITSM, these people will be there. And you see some checkboxes here, which is self-explanatory. Send group notifications if it is added. Send group notification if it is unpicked. Send group notification if a ticket is updated in the group. So these kind of notifications as well, you can enable. And if you have a common group email address, we can also mention here, which is not a mandate, but just an option. And we can also have a recipient address as well. So from an end user point of view, he's sending an email to this, not to Lakshman or not to Shakti or not to Kiran or not to Kamal. He's sending to ITSM. When he's sending to ITSM, all 4 people will be acknowledged on the backend. And when he's receiving an email, I can respond from my login, you can respond from your login, but from the customer point of view or from the user point of view, he will be receiving the email from this address only. He doesn't know who is Lakshman, who is Shakti and all, but for him, the incoming and outgoing will be the same email address. Right? So that way, you will be able to create multiple such groups of your expertise, of your organization practice, where you'll be able to differentiate the work. Right? And the same thing is also available here on the service. Agent groups, right? Support groups. So these are all the people that you can nominate from the list that you have. And you can give some group notifications. Right? That is done. Once you have about these groups, then you have user groups also. User groups, nothing but These user groups will be mostly helpful in the form of reports only on Manage Engine. And these user groups on Press Service will be helpful in the form of reports and a few automations as well. But the concept is user groups is nothing but end user groups on some conditions. Department name contains design, design, design. All those users will be added under this group called designer. Right? End user department is this. So many such fields are there, starting with job title, starting with name, starting with site, starting with primary email address, so on and so forth. Similarly, here you create a group like this. Job title includes CIO, add him to VIP. Job titles include CEO, add him to VIP. Job title includes Managing Director, add him to VIP. Volga, you can write multiple such rules based on the conditions that you have. So all those users where these conditions will be matched will be taking a part of this contact group, nothing but user group. Right? Okay. And here you see something called as technician auto assign. As the name itself says, assigning the things. What are those things? XYZ things to the technicians automatically from the backend. So this is something from an automation point of view. So when you have the tickets logged on the console in the unassigned queue, how are we having those tickets assigned to the agents? Because agents has to be notified, agents need to be assigned with the tickets, or agent has to pick up the tickets. Only then they will be starting to work on the tickets, right? If I give access to the agents to go and pick up the ticket, they will not pick up the ticket. That is human tendency, right? So we need to force and assign the tickets to the agents automatically. Why should I do manually when I have an intelligent tool like this, right? That's an ask. So I'll enable this, and I have two algorithms here called round robin or load balancing. Round robin is nothing but 5 people we are technician 1, technician 2, technician 3, and technician 4. We 5 people, when we are there in the system, the available 5 tickets which are there in unassigned bin, ticket 1 to Kamal, ticket 2 to Vetri, ticket 3 to Kiran, ticket 4 to Shakti, and ticket 5 to Lakshman. So in a round robin fashion, it is going to distribute the ticket to the logged in agents. I repeat, to the logged in agents only. That is round robin. When I go with load balancing, it is going to check the load of Kamal. It is going to check the load of Vetri, check the load of Kiran, check the load of Shakti and all. Based on their existing load, the new tickets will be assigned so that all the agents' load for that day is equal. Kamal will have 5 tickets, Vetri will have 5 tickets, Sai will have 5 tickets, Shakti, Lakshman, everyone in the team will have 5 tickets so that no one is having excess load. Right? So that way, the algorithms that you would like to have, you can enable. Who are all the agents that you're wanting to have applied, implied in this auto assignment? You can choose from here and get the assignment taken forward. This is technician auto assign, what you see here under manage engine. And here, the technician auto assignment will be there inside the group. On some condition, a ticket will be assigned to the group. Once a ticket is assigned to the group, based on some condition, the tickets will be placed to Kamal, Lakshman, Sai, Shakti, Shiva, Vetri, and Vignesh. Right? If you disable it, the auto assignment will not happen. If you enable it, the auto assignment will go first ticket here, second ticket, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth ticket to Kamal, 9, 10, 11, and so on and so forth. Right? So that is assignment. Now, I'm sending an email to support address and the ticket is not getting created. What is the reason? I need to have the mail settings configured on the console, right? I haven't done that. So the mails will not convert as tickets. So I need to configure the incoming SMTP settings on the console. Similarly, outgoing SMTP settings on the console. Only then the mails which are coming in will be logged as tickets on the console. Similarly, when the tickets are getting created, when the tickets are getting assigned to the engineers, some notifications has to go out to the end users or the agents as an acknowledgement so that they are notified, they can stay calm and they can follow from there. So this mail configuration is required to do that on the backend. And that will be able to do it in this mail server settings under manage engine. And here you'll be able to do it under email. Default mail service is from Fresh Service. If not, you can use your own mail service for incoming and outgoing by providing the details like this. Incoming server name, port number, username, password. Outgoing server name, port number, username, password. The same thing will also be seen here for you to fill in, save it. Once you save it, if it is successfully saved without any error, the mail fetching will happen. If it is saved with some error, then you need to troubleshoot, looking into that error, ensure that it is successful for the incoming and outgoing pass to complete. Right? So that is mail. Now, I guess we need to take a break. So I'll stop. Now I'll wait for you to come out with questions. No questions?
Clear, Lakshman.
Sorry?
I'm clear, Lakshman. No questions.
Okay. Vetri, this is important, everyone. This is going to be a concept, not a solution or not a tool. And this concept, once you are confident enough, right, you can take any to any other ITSM tool in the market and you can become an expert, number one. And the concept that we are learning is ITIL. And that ITIL, you can take some certifications and you yourself can become some certified ITIL consultants in the market. So this is not small like Desktop Central or Endpoint Management that we saw in the last couple of days. This is lengthy. As we discussed, many scenarios will come into picture, many use cases will come into picture. It's mostly on to and fro discussion only. UI navigation explaining will be very few. Most of the things will be going on verbal. And many things will come out when you have an hands-on. So whatever the learning that we are doing, what we have done in the past for endpoint management and what we're starting on ITSM from today, ensure that you have a hands-on with that learning of what we are doing on that day without fail. It is strict mandate. Only then we'll come out with queries. I'm going very slow, I know, but as a beginner, yes, we have to, so that you will get a hands-on of it parallelly. So utilize the time, take out the fullest usage of these sessions, have a hands-on, come out with queries, and we'll again connect on the next call on Monday. So Shakti, you want to add anything? Sai, you want to add anything? Any queries that you have, you can.
No, sir, I have to check this technician auto assign once what is round robin and load balance. I will check it in my end, and if any queries, I will ask you.
Okay. Shakti, anything that you want to add, or we can close it? I guess he's on some other call. Fine then. So on that note, we'll close the call and we'll connect again on Monday and take this navigation with the other menus that we have. Okay. So utilize that hands-on as well before we connect on Monday. Before the call on Monday or on the call on Monday, any queries that you have, do reach out to me. We'll connect and discuss. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Lakshman. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.